Hey, everybody. You reached tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we need to get into this. Now, let me tell you, today's tea time is dedicated to Nick Cannon. And listen, I know you're tired, because I'm tired too, of these Nick Cannon stories. But one of his longtime girlfriends, Jessica White, recently did an interview and said that being in a relationship with Nick Cannon was emotionally abusive. And I believe her. Why? Because Nick Cannon and his 13 kids, 15 kids, 20 kids, and all the stories that come out about him, it's emotionally abusive to the public. But we have to endure it. But anyway, Jessica White said that she found out Brittany Bell was pregnant with the rest of the world via social media while she was living in the house with him, his house, and she just suffered a miscarriage herself. Now that's messy, very messy. And all I can say to every female out there or anybody in a relationship, doesn't matter, male, female, whatever, do not become a counselor in your relationship unless that's what you signed up for, unless that's your profession. If somebody come to you, and nobody's ever going to be perfect, people, but if somebody comes to you and the percentages ain't right. And what do I mean by that? They 80% broken and 20% okay. The run and don't ever look back. Okay? And leave all your belongings behind. You can get more stuff. Leave everything behind. When you find out that they're 80% broken, run. Don't look back. Now we're going to get more into this story, everybody, right after this. Now, guys, we're going to get right into this story because I actually have two articles I want to share with y'all. I'm going to go a little backwards first because I'm going to share this post that she did, an emotional post, pretty much apologizing to Nick Cannon a little bit. Then I'll show you the later story, okay? What happened was Jessica White, she's on Loving Hip Hop, one of the reality shows. And Nick Cannon got pissed that she pretty much used him as a storyline on the show. Now, Nick Cannon doesn't like for any of the females in his tribe to do interviews and talk about him. Why? Because he wants to maintain this good boy image. And I don't know how you do that when you got all these baby mamas and a bunch of kids, but he wants to maintain this good boy image and that, he vibrates on a higher level than the rest. He doesn't like to be down there with the mess. I vibrate on a higher level. Everybody with the nonsense of the Zen talk when they anything but Zen. It's messy, okay? I vibrate on a higher level. I don't talk about people. I don't get into the mess. He said all of that only to start the Daily Nick Cannon show. And what does he do? He talks about people. Anyway, let's get into this story and see what Jessica had to say. Okay, because she said Nick Cannon stopped talking to her because everything she was doing on Love and Hip Hop. So Jessica White shares a personal message to Nick Cannon. Okay, Nick Cannon's ex-girlfriend Jessica White opened up to Nick Cannon via an emotional post following a miscarriage. That following the story that she told that she had a miscarriage. So he could have had 13 kids right now, but Jessica had a miscarriage. Okay, so At the opening up about the American TV host and her ex-boyfriend Nick Cannon on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Jessica White pinned a personal message to the father of 12 via a since deleted Instagram post, okay, as reported by Entertainment Tonight, okay. Jessica White shares personal message to Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's ex-girlfriend Jessica White said that she gave him 8 ride or die years and penned an emotional message to him in a since deleted Instagram post. She stated that she couldn't reach him directly because he cut her off. He cut her off. If you talk about Nick Cannon, and that's how he has these baby mamas not running their mouth. Because all of them except Mariah Carey, and in the last one, the one that had the last baby, the one that used to be the I think the Price is Right model, the photographer. He ain't gonna shut that one up. Okay, that one got her own mind and she speaks her mind and she will let him have it. But the other ones kind of depend on him for money and he controls them. But let's continue. The source reports that Cannon stopped communicating with Jessica after she made him her storyline on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She said, I know you're upset about the show, but after 8 years, I can't stand when things catch you off guard. And I feel like you deserve way more respect as a man, even though I may be more respectful than you ever gave me with public announcements, she wrote, according to Entertainment Tonight. I wanted to make it work. Prayed every day that you see me and love me the way that I loved you. Maybe you did, but just kept it from me during the relationship. I walked away with more questions than anything. I don't know till this day, really, why current things had to happen, she continued. I never felt love that was safe, even as a kid. So, Nick, you didn't cause the pain I had. It long before us. But I put it off on you unfairly without seeing that my healing needed to be deeper past us. I mean, you added to it, but my fear of not being loved wasn't broken by you. I like to say that publicly, she added. So here she is. She does this whole public dictation to Nick Cannon because Nick Cannon wasn't speaking to her because she used him as a storyline on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. She blames it all on herself. This is crazy. Jessica and Nick Cannon were first spotted together on a grocery run in 2015. The model said that she had given Nick Cannon 8 ride or die years. The Wildin' Out host is a father of 12, but that could have been 13. Listen, nobody ever wants to see anyone suffer a miscarriage. But Jessica White, you dodged a bullet. You really did. The pair unfortunately suffered a miscarriage and they split shortly after as Cannon announced that he was expecting a baby with Brittany Bell. It seems Cannon did not tell Jessica that he and Brittany had a baby on the way as well. He didn't tell her. So the whole time you being his ride or die for 8 years, living in his house, sleeping with him, you just miscarried a baby. And meantime, he got somebody else pregnant. He's a mess. She was aware that I just had a miscarriage 2 weeks prior to her news coming out. So she's saying that Brittany Bell knew the deal. Brittany Bell knew about Jessica, that Jessica was living with Nick Cannon and just had a miscarriage herself. And then she announced her baby. Because he told me that he told her. And I was living at his house. She knew that as well. So Brittany Bell knew Nick Cannon was living with somebody else and that somebody else had just lost the baby and you sleeping with it. But I found out on Instagram along with the rest of the world, she said to Jason Lee back in 2021. So Jessica said, I'm living with this man. I'm his ride or die. We chilling. And I find out that another girl's having his baby via Instagram like the rest of the world. If that ain't emotional abuse, what is? That woman has come. Jessica post comes about a month after Cannon told Lee that he was still in love with her. The manipulation. Well, let's continue. That woman has overcome so much and is just a light and an angel to so many who operates on a higher frequency, he said. He loves this higher frequency, low frequency, high vibration, low vibration, nonsense talk. Well, let's be clear. You're living on a very low vibration. These are Diva's opinions. When you want to have a ton of baby mamas, okay, and have all of these kids on purpose and leave them in a home fatherless on purpose. That's my opinion. Okay. So that's that article. Let me show you the recent one. Hold on one second. And the only reason why she did that message is because he wanted to shut her down. And he knows how to get to these female skin, underneath their skin, right? He wanted to shut her down and everything she was doing on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta before she ran her mouth too much. And that's why he said, "Oh, I still love her. I loved her the most." He's manipulative. He's a hot mess, but they fall for it. So you can't for him. So Jessica White says dating Nick Cannon was emotionally abusive, and honey, it still is. He's still trying to control the narrative. He's a mess. The ex is firing some shots at Nick Cannon. Model Jessica White says she was in an emotionally abusive relationship with the TV star during their long-term romance. "I went through an emotionally abusive relationship, and everybody goes through it," she told Page Six in an exclusive interview. Let me just pause this. Pause. Okay. She's and I'm just the first person in Hollywood to talk about it. Girl, Jessica, now relax and calm down. You're not the first person to talk about being in an emotionally or physically abusive relationship. Wake up, girl, and smell the coffee. And not try to make a pretty picture of it. "I don't want to be perfect," she added. Okay, the former Victoria's Secret runway model reportedly dated the Wild 'N Out creator and host from 2015 to 2020, though she said they were together for 8 years because they probably was together before they actually announced it. White, 38, also recently stated that she suffered a miscarriage in 2020 when she was pregnant by Cannon, 42. In an interview with Hollywood Unlocked back in 2021, White alleged that she found out about another woman's pregnancy via Instagram while they were still together. Oh, I believe it. Because all of his relationships, they overlap. And that's why he was able to have X amount of babies all in the same year. Because there was some overlap in there. I was going through still my hormonal changes, and we were about to start in vitro. Could you imagine? This man knows he got somebody else about to have his baby, and he's with her. She lost the baby, and he comforts her by saying, "Oh, don't worry, let's do in vitro," because she said at the same time. So when I came out, people thought I was a home wrecker. No, there was a real life going on. I was bullied for months with that whole situation. I still tried to be nice about it. We didn't break up right away. We tried to work things out. White, a former face of Maybelline, walked the blue carpet at the premiere of rapper French Montana's new documentary, okay, at the Tribeca Festival on Friday. The New York native who stars in the new season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta recently posted a lengthy Instagram message seemingly directed towards Cannon, and I read that to you already. Okay, said the message in part. I wanted to work, prayed every day that you see me and love me the way that I love you. Maybe you did, but it just kept it for me during the relationship. I walked away with more questions than anything. I don't know to this day why I don't know to this day really why current things had to happen. Girl, because he didn't want you. White told us that she later regretted posting the message publicly because I should have saved it for the effing book. I probably regret that because I should have saved it for the effing book and got paid for it, she said. She also stated, "I'm writing a book," but said her chapter on Cannon would be very short because he ain't gonna play that with you. And you know that. "I think if you put it in a book, he would be half a chapter. A half a chapter is still too long," she added. She's never getting back together with Nick Cannon. First of all, girlfriend, you was with this man 8 years. What is she? She's only 38. And you talking about that would be too long? What, girl? No, he told you, keep my name out your mouth. Okay. She said, "I'm not ever going back and forth. And that's fact. Going back, and that's fact," she said. "I'm having so much fun without him, and I'm better without him. and I don't need all that energy and all that, SIHT. She said, I'm done. White also told us that she's looking for the right man and wants to have a baby. I'm going to try, but with the right man this time, she said. I am putting myself out there. Part of my healing process is not sitting back and waiting to be fully healed. Nobody ever is. I agree with that. None of us are ever fully healed. But like I said, have an 80-20 rule, people, a 90-10 rule, maybe a 70-30 rule. But when you get with somebody who's 50% broken and 50% healed, you're asking for trouble. My opinions, okay? She said, I can't wait to make love and have a baby soon. Oh, yeah, I'm all for it. The thing is, Jessica, again, people, I'm not judging anybody. Single chick, had a baby, okay? All I'm saying is, though, why would you plan on purpose to have a baby and you're single? How about I can't wait to make love and have a baby soon? How about I can't wait to maybe find the right mate, get married, and then have a baby? I don't know. This is just my thoughts in my head. She said, oh yeah, I am all for it. Okay. Beautiful girl. She also said, I'm so tired of talking about Nick. I am done. Please post that. I'm so tired of talking about Nick Cannon. I really want to move past this because I don't want the next guy to come in and think that he is competing with that energy, because he isn't. I'm over it. I just want to go into the world and have people see me and ask me questions outside of him at this point. Cannon team did not get back to them to page 6 for a comment. Listen, girl, I'm wishing you all the best. But the best way to stop talking about him, even if the people ask you a question about him, is when they ask you the question, you say, I decline to answer that. I don't want to talk about Nick Cannon anymore. I have a whole life outside of Nick Cannon, and let's talk about that. And then you start to talk about your projects, being on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and whatever else you want to talk about. You redirect the interviewer and you let them know 10 toes down, no more Nick Cannon questions. Now, I'm nobody's publicist, Jessica, but those are just my humble thoughts on your situation if you really don't want to ever have Nick Cannon name come out of your mouth. Now, listen, guys. Chat with me in the comments. And when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. Are you shocked? I'm not shocked that Nick Cannon is emotionally abusive. I'm telling you, he got that tribe of his, all the females, on lock. Open your mouth and I'm cutting you off. I'm not going to have 2 words to say to you. I'm going to be done with you. And most of them, like I said, outside of Mariah Carey, and the latest one, her name is slipping my mind right now, they depend on Nick Cannon for the funds. So they're never going to tell their true feelings. And I believe their true feelings is they're all competing secretly so that Nick could be number one in their life. And little do they know that that man is having fun, bouncing from this one, that one, and that one. And here's my thing too. Why would you on purpose want a man that you know is allergic to condoms because don't seem to use them, and you know that it's a possibility that last night he slept with person A and now tonight he's coming to sleep with you? So nasty. Whew. Anyway, guys, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, hit that like button. Chat with me in the comments, people. And when I get opportunity, I will chat back. I'll see you on the next video.